Hello everyone, welcome to the channel if this is your first time visiting, or welcome back if you are returning. Today we are going to be working on an apartment renovation, and it's actually going to be an apartment for a teen living on her own in Myshuno. I thought it would be a really fun build idea because I don't really play with teens a whole lot, and lately I've kind of gotten bored of the way that I usually play, where you start off with a young adult sim and you just play with them and live their life. But I thought it would be fun to try starting a fresh save with a different lifespan. Not lifespan, I don't know, phase of life, I guess you can say. I actually do plan on playing with the sim that's going to be moving into this apartment. I actually plan on, I was working on a Willow Creek save file, and it was my goal last year to finish it. I did not accomplish that goal, so I've decided that I'm just going to move on for now, and I'm working currently on building up Myshuno. So I feel like it was more doable. I feel like last year was kind of like a bit chaotic. Like, I remember the beginning of the year of last year, like, I really didn't have any time off. Like, I thought, like, going into the year that I would be like super consistent with my videos and everything, and it just, like, everything just kind of went off course because things kind of got crazy with work, and I was only like getting one day off a week. And I'm saying all that to say that I'm hoping that I have a new structure or system set up so that I can upload consistently. And as of right now, in order to do that, I kind of have to work on like smaller builds, and like apartments are like perfect for that because they don't take up so much time to do. So as of right now, I'm currently working on building up Myshuno and renovating all the apartments in Myshuno. Of course, I want to do like other builds, and that's always kind of been like an issue for me because I feel like I have so many ideas that I want to work on, but I don't really have the time that I want to work on those ideas. I don't think I'm going to do a actual like long form let's play with the sim that's going to be moving into this apartment, and I've also created other sims in the other apartments too, and I also plan on giving like makeovers to the townies that already exist in Myshuno, and I basically plan on working on making Myshuno pretty much come to life, and everyone's going to have like a unique story. But I do think I'm mostly going to be playing that like on my own time if I have time. But if anything, I will like make like a short series using YouTube Shorts or something, or TikTok. I don't know. I'll have like my TikTok link in the description below if you want to stay tuned for that series. I think it'll be really fun because I have like a lot of different ideas for that. I feel like in this voiceover I'm pretty much bouncing all over the place because I'm not using a script. I'm just saying whatever comes to mind first. But going back to what I was saying about playing with the sim that's going to be living here, because I am playing with this sim, I did stick to the budget that she had. So because she was just like a single sim on her own, she started off with 20,000 simoleons, and so I wanted to be able to work on this build and stick to that budget. And I really pushed that budget a lot. Like, as you can see in this kitchen slash laundry room, I used the fridge that came with the, I think it was the cozy kitchen kit or something. There's so many kits. I barely remember like the names of the expansion packs and all that. So I don't know. The fridge that I used, it came with one of those kits, one of those kitchen kits. And I wanted to use that fridge specifically, even though it was a little bit more expensive. I probably could have saved some simoleons if I didn't use this fridge, but I thought it was like really cute, and that's kind of like really what I was going for with this apartment, is I wanted to make it really cute and kind of cozy. And also I feel like this apartment, it is like, in my mind, I kind of like split the different, when I'm doing like renovations for apartments in Myshuno, I kind of like go with the theme of the different districts in Myshuno. So this apartment building is in the Spice District, and it's one of the more affordable apartment options in Myshuno. So I kind of like, I don't want to say that I make them run down, but I feel like maybe this apartment is in an older building, but I kind of like went with, maybe they were trying to fix it up a little bit or modernize it. So usually the cabinets that I would usually use for the Spice District apartments, they usually are the cheapest cabinet option that we have in the game, but I went ahead and went with this more expensive, like kind of more modern looking cabinet option because I don't know, maybe it was like this apartment was kind of like renovated a little bit, and I feel like that modern cabinet feel, it would kind of like have, it would be appealing to a teen sim who is kind of naive and doesn't really know what's going on. So I don't know, maybe this apartment kind of has some problems. I know some of the apartments in the Spice District, they do have problems. Well, some of them do. I think this one in this particular lot, I think it's the one that has gremlins. I can't really know, I can't remember for sure. I know it's not the TLC one because the TLC one is in the like the bigger one in this building. I think this one is the one that has gremlins. So yeah, like I feel like with the kind of like modern touches of the cabinets, it kind of like if a teen sim came here, like, oh, these cabinets are so cute. Oh, this apartment has been renovated. It's so nice and fancy for them. Like, they don't really know what fancy is. So yeah, they move here and then they realize, you know, get a touch of reality and realize that, you know, this apartment has some problems that maybe they aren't really ready to deal with. I think by the time I finished this entire apartment, I think I probably ended up having like 50 simoleons left over at the end, and I think that's going to be really interesting because I feel like it's kind of going to be hard because this teen sim, she's going to have to figure out how she's going to make money every week for rent, and she's also going to have to go to school. And the story that I kind of made for her is that she has moved to San Myshuno on her own because she hopes to pursue music and become like a pop star. And that's why you'll see, I don't think I added it yet, but I did include like a keyboard so that she can like practice singing and making music. And the keyboard was kind of like another expensive item. Usually I think maybe I would have used the budget for the keyboard for a computer. I don't think I had enough simoleons for a computer. I also didn't really have the space. I ended up turning this apartment into like a studio apartment because the window situation is kind of weird, and I could have just like left the original layout, but I usually like to change the layouts and make them a little bit different from the original. And because the windows in this apartment, it's kind of weird, it kind of makes it hard to like figure out where to put rooms. And I know you can change the windows, but I feel like if I had changed the windows, it kind of would have made it look weird from the outside, because then the windows wouldn't match up or line up to the outside or the windows that you can't change in like this set, like this apartment set. So I just decided to leave the windows as they were. And also I didn't have enough in my budget to include blinds or window shades, I guess. I don't know. Usually when you are working with a budget for a build, you kind of have to sacrifice some things, and I don't know if you'll see it in this video, but I think towards like the end I did kind of like have to go back to some of the rooms that I did, and I had to delete some things so that I could have enough simoleons for some other things that I wanted. And usually when I'm doing like a budget friendly build or something, I usually have to sacrifice the cabinets or the shades or both, because those things really eat into the budget. And I feel like if this was like for real, like, and I was a teen living on my own in San Myshuno, I would be terrified of not being able to have blinds. But because this is The Sims, I guess it'll be okay. Also, it's kind of high up, so I don't think there's going to be anyone like trying to look inside the apartment. Usually when I'm working on builds, I usually prefer to like work on one room at a time. As you can see, I pretty much had like the kitchen finished, but like for the rest of the build I was kind of like jumping from room, I guess you could say room to room, even though it's only just one room. But I usually like to focus on one area at a time when I'm working on a build. But because I was like working with a budget, I was kind of like bouncing around trying to figure out how can I fill up the space and like stay in budget and see how much money I had left. And at this point I was feeling pretty good because I was still in like, I still had like 3,000 simoleons, so I was like, oh, this is easy, I can finish this. And I know there's probably another builder out there that could have like did the same build and like stayed well within the budget. But I don't know, I feel like I kind of like splurged on some things. Like, you have to remember that this is a teen living on her own, so she probably would splurge on some things that she doesn't need, and she probably doesn't know how to budget wisely and stuff like that. And also, while I was working on this build, I decided that she has a cat, even though in Create Sim when I made her, she doesn't have a cat. So I do have to like go back and give her a cat, because I kind of thought it would be kind of cute that even though she's living here in San Myshuno on her own, I thought it would be kind of cute that she kind of has like this little companion and a little cat, a little fur baby. And in terms of which packs that I use for this build, I'm really bad at like staying with like a certain number of packs, and I understand that like not everyone has all the packs. I also don't have all the packs. I still haven't brought like the last 3 expansion packs, only because I don't know, I think the fairy one, what is it, enchanted something, enchanted something, I think that one was kind of like on sale, but I was like, that's still not like on sale. It's not on sale enough for me to feel like it's worth buying, so I still haven't purchased it yet. As well as like, I think it's like the outdoor retreat. No, that's not that one's been out. What is it, the new version of outdoor retreat 0.2 or something like that. I don't know what it was. It, I don't know, Outdoor Oasis? I don't know which one that one's called. I don't think I brought that one either. And is there one after that, or is that like the new one that's supposed to be coming out, which is like the royalty pack? I haven't pre-ordered it, and I don't know when I'm going to buy it. So I also have like a bunch of kits that I need to catch up on. I haven't brought like some of the latest kits yet either. I don't know, I feel like it gets to a point where like I get discombobulated because they're just coming out with so many packs. But anyway, like in terms of what packs that I use for this specific build, I definitely used a lot of high school years, because I felt like it made a lot of sense to use that pack because it is a teen sim apartment. And what other packs that I used? I feel like I used some of the business and hobbies pack stuff, just because usually I think that was the last, it's not the latest expansion pack, but it's the latest one for what I've brought. So usually when I get like a new expansion pack, I will use the heck out of it. Like I'll just like overuse it, just because it's like new and fresh to me. So I know that when I do eventually buy like the enchanted whatever in the outdoor 2.0 pack, I know that I'll probably end up using like a bunch of those items all the time, just because it's like new and fresh to me. I feel like a lot of my mindset when I was working on this build was, how would a teen decorate their apartment? And I really felt like if there was a teen who was decorating their apartment, they would kind of feel like their apartment has to be kind of aesthetic, or maybe they would like look at Pinterest or social media to look at like how other people decorated their apartments and then try to base theirs around that. And so that's kind of like what I was trying to go for. Like it's kind of like aesthetic and cute, and also kind of feel weird. I don't know if maybe it's because it's like a studio and it's like open floor kind of. I tried to use like the half walls to kind of divide things up a little bit, but it felt kind of weird having all these rugs, and I was like, I don't really like, I feel like I have to have a rug. Like I want to have a rug underneath the bed, and I usually have a rug underneath the dining room table, and then I usually have like a rug in the living room. But to me, like, I don't know, I kind of felt like too many rugs. And then I also used like this little canopy thing. I think that also came with high school years, and I don't really use it too often, but I felt like it was like kind of cute. I don't know, like, I can't remember how much it was, but I kind of felt like it was a little bit of a splurge, but I feel like it ended up being a useful splurge, because I kind of feel like it kind of helped divided the space up a little bit more. And because it can be kind of awkward, I feel like, if you live in a studio, and I feel like it can be kind of weird trying to figure out how to divide up the space so that, you know, your bedroom doesn't feel like a living room and your living room doesn't feel like a bedroom. And like especially with like these type of apartments where they're really small, like if you've ever lived in a small apartment, like you kind of like have to, I don't know, find creative solutions in order to like divide the space up a little bit more. And then I was working on this entryway, and I know it kind of looks a little bit weird because I have like the mirror on the wall, and then I also have like the standalone mirror, and I feel like to me that kind of makes sense because of course you want to have like a stand. I usually do this in all my builds. If you pay close enough attention, like I like to have a stand, like a full body mirror, like in kind of close to the entryway, because in my mind it's like the sim, maybe they want to like take a closer look at that outfit before they go. And I also feel like this space was kind of like a weird awkward space because it was a lot of space still, but I was like trying to figure out how to fill it in. And also by this point you're probably wondering like, where's the dryer? I kind of explained the kitchen as being the kitchen / laundry room, but it's like, how can it be a laundry room if there's only a washer? And I feel like it kind of made sense, like I was like going back to like this teen mindset where they're kind of like looking at their appliances, and I did use kind of like the more expensive appliances. I think these ones came with Dream Home Decorator, where you have like the separate stove range and then the separate oven, and those things kind of like added up a lot too. But I kind of thought like maybe this teen, they come into this apartment, they're like, oh, I have modern appliances. Did I use I don't think I added a dishwasher. I think I thought about it, but I don't think I ended up doing that. But I was thinking about this teen who's like coming in here and she was like, oh, I have like modern appliances and I have a washer. But then she kind of comes to like this awkward conclusion where she realizes that she doesn't have a dryer. And my solution to that is I do think I have a build somewhere in the gallery where I made like a cafe / laundromat, and I think I'm actually going to redo that build or just build something completely different sometime in the future, because I think I did that way beyond like before Business and Hobbies came out, and I think maybe I can like redo it a little bit, like including business and hobbies. So I feel like it can like, I don't know, it might be kind of annoying for some people, but I feel like I like little details like that where it can be kind of annoying where like you have this teen sim who's like barely trying to figure out like how to figure out life, trying to accomplish their goals, trying to get decent grades and try to figure out how to make money. And then like on top of that, they have to like make time to do like start their laundry and then realize, oh, I washed my laundry is wet, and now I have to like take this wet laundry to the laundromat, and or maybe they can just like completely do all of it at the laundromat instead of like trying to do it at home. I don't know, I feel like that's kind of like makes gameplay more fun. But I think at this point I'm pretty much like putting the final touches on this apartment. I was just trying to figure out how I can like decorate the space and make it look a little bit more lived in. I feel like I do kind of like maybe want to go, I say this in like almost all my speed builds, but I do kind of like want to go eventually and like maybe make some builds that are kind of like move in ready so they aren't as cluttered and filled in. But for me, I feel like when I'm building, it really helps me to kind of like have a sim in mind when I'm doing a build. And I don't know, and I feel like that's another reason why I tend to go on like little tangents with my speed builds. I feel like I rarely ever talk about like the build process itself, and I mostly talk about like the people who are going to live there in that apartment. And I think for like the next apartment that I plan on doing, I actually do want to do like more community lot builds, but I feel like they take a little bit of time. Like I'll go ahead and like kind of talk about some of my ideas. Like for this sim in particular, like I said, I feel like this is a sim who has a dream of becoming a singer. I don't really know how I'm going to make that work because I usually play without mods in my game, but I'm trying to figure out how I can like make it work without mods and like just use like regular gameplay of becoming a singer. But I kind of want to make like a build that's like kind of like a studio, like maybe it's a place where she can go and like record music or work on dancing or work on practicing instruments, like she's like training to debut when she become an adult or something like that. So I kind of want to do like a build based on that. But I think the next build that I'm going to work on is going to be the next apartment in this building, and it's going to be like, I've done a renovation for that apartment before, but I've usually made it into like a family apartment where maybe it's like a single mom, or like I think before one time I've done a renovation in that apartment. It was like a single mom and her kid, and then that single mom's mom living together. I think I did that when Growing Together came out. But this time I'm going to do another renovation for that apartment, and it's going to be 5 university students living in that apartment, and I think it'll be really fun, and I can't wait to work on that. If you want to get this build for yourself. It's kind of weird the way that apartments work, because you can't just like, I can't upload an apartment to the gallery, like not the same Myshuno apartments. Like if I made like an actual apartment using like for rent or something, I could upload that to the gallery, but for some reason I don't know why they don't like update it. Why does it have to be so weird? But like I have to like in order to upload apartment like the same Myshuno apartments, I have to like upload it as a room. So because it is a studio, I think like the most of the build it'll be like in one thing, but the bathroom will be separate. So that's kind of like annoying. And I appreciate you so much if you've made it to this point of the video. Also, I'll be including like pictures at the very end. I know like when it's like sped up, it can be kind of hard to see what's going on, so you can like stick around a little bit longer so that you can see like the finished product. And again, I appreciate you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.